hijau on.
The one with the shop with the green facade.
This is number 5. Okay, this is number 5.
Yes, yes.
Hijau.
Not urban.
Okay, today I'm gonna talk about introducing green spaces into urban areas where available spaces are really scarce. Life in a city is stressful, but rapid urbanization is inevitable. According to studies conducted by the Douglas Mental Health Institute in Quebec, Canada, people who live in urban areas are more likely to suffer from anxiety and depression than those from rural areas. One of the reasons being is that there is a lack of green spaces in cities. However, in KL and many other cities in developing countries, very little space is designated as green space. Most of the land are taken up as buildings to build for roads, intersections, and parking space due to the growing population demands and their economical value. More and more roads are built to cater traffic, pollution, toxins, crowding. These effects can be mitigated by giving humans more access to green space. Studies have shown that exposure to green space boosts health, and I want to introduce cities a new way of development within the available pockets within the city that reintroduces green spaces. First, I'm going to start off with a car park in Taylor's University, Sumangjaya. The car park is pretty barren with barely any vegetation, and people literally have to walk under the hot sun from their cars to the campus blocks.
I've never seen it this empty.
6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, and imagine in an afternoon, the whole car park is filled with metal cars, amplifying the heat from the sun. And in the afternoon, probably the available parking space is far right behind, a few hundred meters away from the campus block. So imagine walking like that under the hot sun. It's very uncomfortable and the experience is horrifying. So due to, in the context of urbanization, demands get higher and new buildings are to be built. And my suggestion is to build on stilts above the car park so that the car park space can be preserved. So this is a structure. For those who know Epic Homes, we know that this type of metal structural system is easily assembled, lightweight, portable, modular. And diagrams of designing relating to the site context, since every site is different. And this is a structure. It fits the requirements of urbanization where new buildings are going to be built to cater the growing demands, and as well as providing a sort of garden that shades the pedestrians, which mitigates the negative effects if a new building is supposed to be built. Yet, the good thing is the parking space is preserved. My idea is, if there's no available space for horizontal, typical gardens we usually think of, why not we provide vertical ones, since space is already scarce. And this system is a combination of vertical aluminum members and horizontal cable rods, which enables the plants and creepers to grow on it. And planter boxes are placed at intervals. It integrates the lush tropical greenery to a heavily urbanized context. And these are some of the suggested plants which suits the tropical environment. And it provides a semi-permeable membrane where air and oxygen can pass in between both sides of the facade, but sunlight could not enter, rainwater could not enter the building. And there is a system of gutters that are covered with metal grills, which collects the rainwater, prevents the water from entering the building, and also collect the water for irrigation purposes, which is rainwater harvesting, as shown in this schematic diagram. aside from having just rainwater harvesting, grey water is harvested as well for irrigation purposes. Moving on to another site, which is in the middle of the dense urban jungle of KL, which is Jalan Tar. This is an example of an alley, those small pocket spaces within the city. And if the empty slot is used and chosen by the client to have a building built on it, my suggestion is to keep the original context, which is like, if the pedestrians use it as a shortcut, preserve it as a shortcut, elevate the plants from the ground. And the same solution, which is like the stilts as I suggested just now. And a vertical park is created for the users to reduce noise levels from the traffic by refracting and absorbing acoustic energy, filtering the polluted city air, and reducing the temperature through evapotranspiration, which reduces the urban heat effect. If the site is long and narrow, an area is to be added to allow hot air out of the building's interior. And designing based on this unique context. And the rendering. The exposed structural system liberates people from the constraints of a typical solid wall, and adequate plants such as bamboos and creepers act as a shade and improve both air and aesthetic qualities. Modular green walls are essentially a living cladding system with its rich biodiversity. Evapotranspiration cools the tropical heat. Visitors are greeted with this vertical lush greenery and savors the soothing effects from it. The plants are free and only constrained by the structure, which already has a grid format. So any building can be built on any pocket space available if the client insists. But even the building is built there, it doesn't contribute to the urban heat island effect. Well, not too much. It is a resurrection of the lush KL that was lost in the progression of time. A metamorphosis of the originally barren site to a vertical park, a garden, hidden in the dense concrete jungle of KL or any other tropical city. It's a celebration of the shades, colors, the play of light and shadow in the tropical context. So another idea from me is that we can add this to the GBI system. The GBI is a system where buildings get points if they meet certain criteria, such as like SM, Sustainable Site Planning and Management. So why not put this green facade as one of the criteria for them to get points? The GBI is a form of branding for developers to market how green and eco their buildings are. Since the green facade is modular and could be sold in units, a system can be created to give points to those who use it as their facade, since it's beneficial. And has this type of green facade been done before? Yes, there is. So it's possible. This is the Nouvelle in KLCC. So I hope my idea can propel our nation into a greener future where living qualities are taken care of. Huge populations in cities can be sustained with good air quality, with the negative effects of urbanization reduced by implementing plants. And that's it. Thank you.
Is it a building or is it a park?
It's a combination of both. It's like whenever that a building is built, this thing can be implemented so that it could be a park.
Is it built on a public land or private land?
What?
Is it built to be built on a public land or public land? Private or public land?
Can be anything.
No, to clarify the question, are you proposing a project or are you proposing an idea?
An idea.
There's no project. the project.
But then,
He did submit a
he did
project.
submit a project.
Yes.
Submit a
And this is one of the examples of
That is the
The one
first.
the
my
Java-
my presentation is to clarify what's really going on here.
So he is explaining the concept behind this that can be carried for other schemes.
Yes.
Not the one
Exactly.
next to policy.
Oh,
That was just an idea.
so it's actual private land, lah.
Yes.
Private land, not
That
public
one is
land.
private.
That one has the
Yeah,
shops.
not the farm.
I think you have confused us because you showed the one, the alleyway next to the
Coliseum.
Coliseum. Yeah.
It's not there, right?
It's not there, but
Yeah.
It's a different
That's
project,
just
right?
your idea that it
Yes.
could be.
yes.
Yeah.
Those plans are at the
Another
side.
another
Yes.
location. Also along the Anta.
Also a long alley.
Okay.
Probably next to Kowloon Hotel, right? That Kowloon
Yes.
Yes.
high-rise
You
building.
know the place very
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
You must,
very well.
must frequent there quite often.
You should do.
So he's saying his proposal can be carried for other schemes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you, okay, you've shown us some examples of not your project, like for example, just now you shown eNovel, for example. You know that in green, vertical green, one of the key issues is that it's very costly to maintain. What steps are you doing to counteract that?
Well, solar panels are really expensive, but they are included in the criteria of DBI, right? So,
That's not good.
well, so if my idea is to, since it's very beneficial, it solves a lot of problems in the urban area. Like it reduces the noise, it like it filters the air and all that. But if you're going to include it in GBI, right, as a criteria, people with the amount of money will be willing to use it.
I think that is
So it's already in the, it's heavily into the green building index as a criteria. There are two or three areas from urban landscape to OTTV right down to the innovation point. So easily you can score 7 to 8 points.
Yeah, it's not about scoring the
It's already
points,
in
it's
there.
how smartly you score the points.
Yeah.
Because for example, you can have a very low BEI, you can have triple glazed glass, or you can do passive design. So how smartly are you going to do your green wall? That's my question. Because there are many of us who are here who are ex-GBI or current GBI AP or directors. So,
Actually, I was hoping that you can talk more about your project because it's the basis
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
expected you. But
Okay.
I didn't hear much about this.
now how smart are you going to do that green wall? Because I think the whole project is about that green wall and about maintaining that green space. So how are you going to maintain that? Because a lot of the green walls, if you look at in the KL area, is one of the key issues is they are dying out. Because then they found out that by specifying the wrong plants, you can't maintain them. Maintenance things are not in
I
order.
think that's one
But they
one
sold the
issue.
unit, is it? Based on,
No, that's one issue. And the other issue is
Not an
you
issue.
have this green
not an issue to
scheme
you as a developer.
as the
right?
final scheme of the
So,
building.
make the money.
It's public.
That's where we are going wrong.
No, are you done? I'm asking you a question.
My question
Because
is
he's talking while I'm talking.
Okay, one by one. The judges are over enthusiastic.
Yeah, no, the question is, you have that as a final scheme of the building. You say it's going to stop rain from coming through. You know that Malaysian rain are torrential.
Well, there's a gap between the green walls.
Listen to me first before you finish answering. Yeah,
All right.
You know that Malaysian rain is torrential. When you say this plants is going to stop rain from coming into your building.
No, there's actually a layer like something like
Sorry,
mosquito.
you let us finish our question
Oh, okay.
before you interrupt. It's very rude.
Sorry.
And you have things that you're indoor, you have furniture, you have carpets, say for example, you have things, you have books, bookshelves, and you have this torrential rain coming through, and even if it's just filters through, it's still gonna be wet. So is that something that you considered? Or you just think that, look, I've got a drain on the side, then it should be fine.
Well, there are others, you can implement other strategies like even like reverse.
No, but it's your proposal is this though.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think of that?
Well, there are many strategies to prevent the rain from coming in.
Yep.
So one of them could be the adjustable louvers. When it rains, you can close them up.
That's not what you proposed. So are you proposing this as the final one, or is it going to be a second tier screen? Because the whole premise of your presentation or your project is based on this wall. So your wall must be perfect, or else then your hypothesis doesn't work. You get it? Yeah, yours is not about a project. Yours is about the scheme. So does it bother you that it's permeable? Or you think that we should live in a permeable environment?
I did mention it's semi-permeable.
Yes, but I know. But is it okay for you to live in that kind of environment? Do you think you can take it without the air conditioning, without the ceiling
I
off?
sleep without air conditioning. I'm actually quite strongly against air conditioning
I agree.
for residential houses.
I agree. But I really just need to know the majority. I know even my family, none of them can sleep without aircon. I'm the only one who does that. But is that a solution for Malaysia? Yeah, do you think?
Probably they'll be too pampered.
No, that's not the point. The point is you are dealing with a segment of the community that you're designing for.
Okay.
Do you think they will be able to accept that?
Why not? Like within the building, there could be spaces for mechanical ventilation and spaces which are more public, which doesn't require it.
I agree with you, but why not is not an answer. Why would be the answer? Why not the gut million and why not? Why do you want to do
They
this?
have a they will bring the 3 times.
Well, when you're in a mama stall, it's like there's one huge opening, right? The heat comes in. It's very open.
I'm at a mama stall like half an hour, 1 hour.
I think this will be last questions.
Yeah. So I know, Alvin, you're quite enthusiastic because but I think we have to cut the last question lah.
Right.
Well, still haven't answered my first question. That was the only question.
The time is up. He can answer for another hour or so if he wants.
No, but he's not answering it.
The time's up.
I understand.
Time's up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, our next will be